All right, pretty excited to get started. We got a lot to cover today.
Yeah, I made a few changes.
That's good. Oh yeah, I'm glad to see it. That's pretty cool. Because when I first came here,
It's actually slow.
It's a pretty good spot to stand, Matt, here.
It should be seen. I didn't even think about it. I guess it would make more sense.
like I do have Egyptian music.
I
It was a
actually
hard
wasn't able to
toss-up.
hear. I thought it was a cowboy western music for a moment there. I had to turn it up. Less appropriate cowboy hat.
Snow, but with the yellow light, I guess it kind of just makes it sandy. I should probably just go with sand. It's a good idea.
You don't see camels out in the ark.
Very true.
It's pretty cool though. Hi, Lacey.
Hey, what's up, Wolf?
I'm good.
loving the color. Your avatar's so bright. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love bright colors. I made a second experience.
Oh
Like
my
the day
gosh.
after I showed you my tavern.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I just upgraded it. And,
Send a link. I would love to look at it.
Hey, hi, Galileo.
Hey, everybody. We're going to start here in about 2 minutes. Let's make sure people have time to get here.
Alfie.
Congratulations for you and the new manager, right?
Yeah, I am. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, welcome.
I'm pretty excited.
to buy,
So we need a party for you, man.
This is it. This is it. Good party. We're also streaming this on Twitch, so everybody say hi to our Twitch folks.
Hello, Twitch.
Hello, Twitch.
I don't think it's supposed to have the red limestone on it, huh?
That's the bad snow.
Mike.
Right back there.
It's darker here by the day.
Trouble hearing you.
Initially it was
Quiet.
super bright.
All right, let's get started. How's everybody feel? Everybody good? Everybody in a good place?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to officially introduce myself to whoever shows up, and then of course whoever watches the recording can see this. But I'm Galileo. I'm the new community manager, and so I've been kind of learning the ropes for the past 2 weeks, thanks to Lacey and the rest of the team. So you'll start seeing me around a lot more, and you guys can ask me things if you have issues, or come to me with that. A lot of the things that you've been asking Lacey for, you guys can come to me for that now, and I'm here for you. So this is my chance to get to know you all as much as it is a chance for you guys to get to know me. And I'll be living pretty much everywhere that you live in Sansar's community, so like Discord, Twitch, Reddit if you guys use that, Twitter. I'm in charge of all of those things. So yeah, that's what I'm here for. And Lacey has some good news as well. Lacey, do you want to share?
Yeah. Sure, yeah. I mean, if you want to go ahead and get it started, I'm also quickly... let me take a look. If you don't mind introducing, I guess, what's going on.
Oh, I just did.
You know me.
Yeah. So yeah, I just introduced myself. So this is just a time you guys can ask me anything you want. It can be about the job or about myself or whatever you want to know. I am here for you now.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm Alfie. It's good to meet you. Buongiorno, I believe. I'm
I love
from.
your name, Galileo.
I knew you would like it. He's a fellow countryman, isn't he?
Scusa, sorry.
He's a fellow countryman, right? He's Italian.
Ah, you're Italian.
No, Galileo the name is, isn't it? I believe it is.
It's also in a wonderful song.
That's right.
It reminds me of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh yes.
Hello. Exactly.
Let me continue
No,
that.
yeah, I was gonna say. I think
Galileo!
it's since he joined us.
And
I'm probably gonna have to sing that every time I see you.
please do. I mean, my avatar at work is Freddie Mercury anyway, so.
Yes. Sorry about that. I was quickly taking a few notes and getting all the settings fixed up. But yeah, if you want me to go ahead, I can go ahead and explain the changes on this side as well.
Sure, Lacey has some good news. Go ahead.
All right, so you guys know me. I am hoping that you guys love the dad jokes and everything. You know, I know most of y'all here, but I'm not actually going to be on the support team anymore. I have officially moved over to the marketing team, and so I will be moving over to a position where I will be I'll still be at the events. You guys ain't getting rid of me so fast, all right? No, but I'm going to be helping to create content and everything. Thank you, Alfie. Marketing team, and you know I'm gonna be here at the event. Alfie, you're wonderful. Thank you. You know I will be working with Galileo in coordination. We're gonna be working on different marketing programs and initiatives, and so you'll see me at the events. And I'm still the same old Lacey. I got a fancy cowboy hat now, but other than that, same old Lacey. And gonna be moving over to the marketing team. So it's a new chapter, and I'm excited to start this with y'all. Thank you. Yeehaw.
All right.
I like yeehaw.
It's very American. Okay, so you guys can ask questions, or if you have comments or concerns, let's get to them.
How are you flying?
How am I flying? So this is an emote that you can get from the store, and I forgot who made it, but it's my favorite. It's my go-to emote. I just feel like my avatar would float a lot. So.
It's from Jogala.
Jungla,
Yes,
there it
that
It
is.
must hurt having wings on your head and then pulling you upward.
I used to have golden wings, but now I have to wear this wonderful glowing Sansar logo on my back.
You have to wear it.
It's a hover logo.
Yeah, it's a hover logo.
So you can't wear wings?
Oh, I can if I want to, but I want everybody to make sure that they know if they're in the game that they can talk to me, and that I'm here to help. Yep. Somebody asked where I was from. I'm from America, and I was born in Georgia and grew up in Missouri, but now I live in San Francisco.
No way.
Yeah. Pretty exciting. I used to have a ridiculous Southern accent that I got rid of when I was young. When I moved to St. Louis, which is in Missouri, kids made fun of me because I had a very thick Southern accent, so I lost it pretty quickly.
So you make a round in America.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
Said
born and
y'all
raised
yesterday
in
when you left.
Northern California.
Ooh,
in
yeah.
a town called Placerville.
Uh-huh. Oh,
and
cool.
I live in Nevada now.
Yeah, but Lacey, I and Galileo, we all say y'all, so you can't make fun
I
of
say
him too
y'all.
badly for that. Exactly.
I never told him, but I'm from Texas, and so that's the cowboy hat. I think I can wear it.
And the watermelon, right?
Yes, the watermelon. Hey, that's great too. I love it.
Little known fact about Missouri, everybody wears togas and can float, so I'm just trying to represent. Yeah, I'm a comedian in my free time when I'm not at work. I do comedy up here in the Bay Area. I've been doing it since for about 20 years now, so since I was pretty young. Yeah, I lived in Chicago for a little bit as well, did some comedy there at Second City, which you might have heard of if you're into improv. That's where all the Saturday Night Live people come from, and it was very, very super exciting for me when I was younger, but I quit because I was too afraid to fail, so there's a lesson for you. Don't quit. But now I get to be here with you all.
Sounded like you tried at least, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah. That's true. So, what is something that you all expect from a community manager? What can I do for you that will make your experience here better?
You have to bring 1 million
Put
people
all the
into Sansar.
community
That's your
together.
job.
This would be great.
If I can bring 1 million people? Okay.
Then you're okay.
That's it.
I'm actually trying to get
Only demand we have.
play another game called Creativerse, and you get your own little world and stuff and get to create in it.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to get people who's in my world onto here.
Yeah,
They're
that'd be
not
great.
seeing me because I'm like addicted to Sansar now.
You know what? That sounds like a
Awesome.
good problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sitting here eating pizza and
Oh.
chilling.
Well,
Got a
just
chair.
now just jealousy. That's what's happening here.
I have to go back to work tomorrow.
Oh no.
Got pizza. That's a great start.
You know what they say? If you love your job, you never work a day in your life. I think that's a pretty good.
Well,
Big if.
I work
Big
in a
if.
warehouse, so I don't like
you
it.
work for free.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I don't
you
think
love
that's ever
Sansar.
true. Even if you love your job, everyone has their days.
That's right. That's right.
There's somebody
I mean,
in
there's
chat
plenty of
asking
jobs
a question
I would
about
love
it.
to have.
Galileo.
Oh, I'll see. Get it. Open my chat.
Did he ask,
What?
What is? Oh, go ahead.
What is a community manager? Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's different for every kind of community and every different industry. I've been doing social media and community management for about 10 years in a bunch of different capacities, and so it's always changing. So I think that the best answer is somebody who acts as a champion for the community when bringing information back to the company. So acting as a liaison, the voice for you all at Sansar, at Linden Lab. So that's I think the most basic definition. But of course that opens up just a ton of other things. So what does your voice mean? How am I representing you correctly? So hopefully by spending time with everybody and documenting all of the things that we like and we think that there's opportunities to make better, hopefully I can be a useful and contributing member of the community as well as somebody who works for Sansar. Does that make sense? I am your bridge to the inside of Linden Lab, and not just me. There's other folks that hang out in the community as well. Harley and Lacey are just a couple of great examples of that. But it's my job to make sure that you're heard and that your needs are being met as much as I can.
Is it okay to ask us a question?
Of course, please do. Yeah, this is.
Maybe you're just talking. I'm sorry.
No, I'm maybe I'm just talking. That's the story of my life.
Because you just said you're the bridge for Linden Lab. Now I have a question. Is there any chance that maybe in the future, because I think that I'm not the only one, but I heard more people here that we have many Lindens in Second Life.
That's right.
Is there any chance there will be a way to change Linden to Sansar money? Instead, it's just stuck there at the moment.
That's a good question.
Very
I know
unlikely,
it's the same company,
unfortunately.
but I know it's different source, different server. I know I'm not. It's complicated, but is there any chance they will consider it? Because it'd
I
be very
think
nice.
the answer, if I might step in for a moment,
Sorry,
Galileo,
yeah.
are you okay with that?
Please do.
Yeah, I think the answer is that there's basically no chance of that happening,
Oh.
just because Sansar
Well,
is
thank you
on
for your
Steam.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm really sorry about that. But if Sansar is on Steam, and in order to stay on Steam, we have to follow by certain rules. And since Second Life can't get on Steam, I think one of the rules is that there's not going to be any Linden dollar to Sansar dollar converting.
You can cash out.
Okay.
And
Was
put it into
worth
Sansar.
to ask it anyway because I have.
Oh yeah, all
I
questions
will
are worth
lose a ton
asking
of
for
money
sure.
if you did that. Sorry.
For the
You'd
people,
lose a ton of money if you did that, though.
we want people to put that were coming.
It would be much
now or
smarter
that were
to
not coming?
convert Sansar to Linden and then cash out.
Yeah, feel free to ask any question. I don't think any question is really. I mean, there are some questions that are probably off limits, but if you have any, questions about the game, always feel free to ask. I might not know all of those answers immediately, but hopefully one day I can know just off the top of my head. But if you have questions in the meantime, I can at least help you find the answer.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Right. Now, I've suggested this in other virtual worlds, and I want to see what you think of it.
Uh-huh.
If we want to engage thousands and even millions of people into virtual reality, what do you think might be the most suitable experience to use in the following circumstance? Imagine that downtown San Francisco or New York or Tokyo or London, whatever, you have at least one giant screen in which there is an interface between the virtual world doing something that I'm asking you about, what would it be, and the real world people outside that would attract them, engage them, and say, wow, I want to get in there and do that. To be able to, that is where the people in world are able to freely speak and be heard by people in the real world outside, either in a shopping mall or at a conference or downtown on a street. I've seen this happen in SVVR. They did it in High Fidelity once, and I was totally amazed by it. There's something viscerally very exciting about it and something very important. I can hardly put my finger on it, but what I'm asking you is, if you agreed that would be a way of engaging the general public and getting joining us in growth, what would the experiences be that would do that, would achieve the?
I thought of VR. So
That's a really interesting question, and I'm what experience that could bring people from around the world together in a large sort of metropolitan area and connect them to the virtual world. I think we have to look into sort of history to find the answer there. What have been some of the events that bring people together sort of universally, right? So I think huge worldwide competitions it might be our answer there. Like the Olympics bring people together. How would we, people from all around the world are together communicating and bound together by this sort of single competition. So maybe something like that could be very interesting.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So a bunch of us could be watching a game.
That's right.
And talking to the people in the street.
That's right.
In a front seat.
Yeah, I think that could work, especially from people from all around the world who don't typically get to talk to each other. Now, there's obviously some very interesting mechanical and technical issues that would have to be at play, such as how do we understand each other because we don't all speak the same language. But I think that would be a really interesting experiment.
I think also that it would, I'll shut up in a minute. I think it would also be very interesting to the media.
That's right.
Because it's a media thing, it's very new. And I think a lot of the public would stand there gaping because I think it needs some thought onto. I mean, the game would be good. I think it would work, but the engagement people in the VR worlds, if they sat down and plotted and schemed on this, I think they could make it a real success.
Yeah, maybe. I think that would be a really exciting thing. I also think for example, the first time we land on Mars, if there was some sort of VR component, because the people who are in VR could go walk around Mars ostensibly and tell the people that are not in VR what that's like.
Right. So the key thing being that you show vividly what VR is and what it's doing in a way that a TV screen and window doesn't do, but VR does.
That's right. Yeah, I think it would be important to make sure that the technology was there.
Yeah.
Cool.
It wouldn't be very dear either, would it? I mean, you just set up you think of a good event, you set up a big screen, and just have interface between the public.
That's right.
Just a thought.
Cool. No, I really like the thought experiment. Anybody else? Ask me anything, or ask Lacey or Harley anything, or ask each other, or just tell me something. All of those are good.
What is love?
You think
Baby, don't hurt
Sansar
me.
is successful?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You think Sansar is successful?
It depends what your metric of success is. Now, I think the typical person who works at any company would be like, yes, of course it is. I think that we have been successful in creating a unique and a new innovative experience as we're joining the sort of VR push. I obviously think that there's a lot more work to be done, and that's what we hope to be getting done going forward. Now, I've only been here this is maybe my 10th day at work, so there's probably a lot of things that I don't even know about yet where we've succeeded in massive ways. But I will say success is something that is always just on the horizon, and so to keep chasing it is what we're striving for, and I think everybody should strive for.
Great answer. Optimistic.
Yeah, that's thank you. But yeah, what do you think? I mean, it's one thing. I think that's an important question for everybody out here. It's one thing to ask me that, but what do you all think? And what will make us successful? What will make this community grow, and that kind of thing? Something we should all be thinking about.
This is not only VR. I think it might help a lot.
Yeah, I think that's very important. We've had this talk internally recently, and I don't know if I'm allowed to share this, but I'm just going to tell you. But we have had that discussion where letting people know that if you have a PC and any sort of desktop machine that can run Sansar can join in, and you don't have to have a headset or any sort of VR gear. I also think that's very important.
Yeah.
That's very, very insightful.
What about bug issues? Because I've been getting them. I don't know about anybody else, but I've been getting bugs, and yeah, I tried messaging you guys about it, but I don't know if you guys got it. It's been a couple of days.
Sorry about that. Where did you try messaging us?
When?
Or where?
Oh, through your guys' contact support, like reporting issues and stuff.
Harley can speak better to this, but I know that those are looked at very carefully by our support team and passed on to the right folks. So
yeah, because
yeah.
I literally have to restart my computer in order for the game to work sometimes, because it will kick me out of Atlas, and when I'm trying to visit people, it says that the world isn't loading, and then I have issues where people don't see me and I don't see them. I can't hear them. I hear like their footprints, and but that's only some of the time.
Yeah, that's frustrating, and thank you for bearing with us. I think just like any sort of new technology, we're all growing together here. So anyway, in the future, if you ever feel like we're not seeing something, or you're kind of concerned about where your email went, or however you contacted us, you can feel free to reach out to me in game or even on Discord. I'll find out.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Have you guys ever considered Linux support?
I'm pretty new here, so I'm not sure. Lacey, Harley, do you know?
That is not on the roadmap currently. We would like to see it maybe someday happen, but at the moment, it's just not quite viable. And yes, we know Mac people want Sansar, but until Mac can support Sansar in its entirety without running boot camp, I'm afraid we won't be able to support that.
Unofficially, we do not. Oh, hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I just forgot I turned voice indicators off. I was like, what's going on? We don't officially support it, but there are ways around on our knowledge base.
Like I just mentioned boot camp, but that's without, some sort of third-party software or some trickery that you can explore the forums to figure out. There's no way currently in pure form for Sansar to run.
Yeah, I was thinking if you had like two avatars or something, and you wanted to build in one, and then you had a different machine that you were running around and interacting with people, or stuff like that. Instead of having two editions of Windows, I know people pirate software and stuff, but I don't do that. So
sure,
it's an
very safe, very safe.
You'd have to have another version of another license for Windows and stuff, and that's not that big of an issue. But I was just curious because pretty much all versions of Linux are free. So
you can run two versions of Sansar right now.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, all right, never mind. I thought I clicked it a few times and it would go to open up. And
you have to change
down.
the setting in the TOM file.
L. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or just save it to a different location. Like if you have an external hard drive, save one copy to your computer itself.
Yeah. And I didn't even think of that. No, that makes sense.
There is a question from Twitch. Chris asks, where do you think is the area Sansar needs to improve on the most? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I think the area that I'll be focusing on is making our community grow closer, and not just grow in numbers, but grow closer. And we can all experiences together and grow together and have a strong community like you want to have when you come into a game. People know who you are. It's like the Cheers theme song. So that's what I'll be focusing on. But I think that, like I said, we're always going to be improving all the time. So that's a good question. And again, that's also a question for you all. Where do you think Sansar needs to improve? And that's the kind of feedback that I hope to collect and pass on to the team.
I know that Elliot had some control over the recommended experiences.
Okay.
That are listed in the Atlas.
He might have. I'm not super familiar with what he did and what he did not do. So if there's he hasn't. I haven't been passed on any sort of information or
I'll just point out that
yeah.
the recommended experiences haven't changed in like months.
Aha. Well, then I will go ahead and take a look at that.
To actively go out and offer to people to hold presentation events in the beautiful surroundings within Sansar. Because I go quite a lot into alt space. It's not as beautiful as Sansar, but the events are very, very good, even with Mickey Mouse avatars. The events are wonderful. And I often say to people, 70% of the experience is the context. And you've got marvellous context here. And you can show that to people that want to hold a convention. It's quite a novelty thing, and I think maybe some people will go for it, as they have in Alt Space VR.
Okay, yeah. So what are you suggesting?
Well, you could pick up the phone maybe and talk. Whenever you see a conference or even a person likely to want to run a conference, you can say, how would you like a wow
I see.
event? We can set up. It doesn't cost anything. It'll save you all the airfares, but we could do it in VR. And look at this context. Come, boot it up on your PC now and let's talk about it. But you could do that. You could save yourself thousands of dollars. It would be a wow thing. Lots of people would join it who otherwise couldn't afford to or wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up. We have a really excellent partners team that is working on a lot of that right now, and so hopefully you'll see some of that in the future. But if you all ever see something that you think belongs here, feel free to pass it to me, and I'll bring it to our partners team and see what we can do.
Thank you.
If you guys have any communities or anything like that, or even ideas of like anime or any kind of stuff that you think that would do well, feel free to pass it on to me, or any cool experiences you guys find.
How many audience? What sort of an audience would you expect if you had an event? Let's say I did an event on the science and the facts of job satisfaction, from past science, and I did a presentation and spoke about it and did a workshop. How many people do you reckon you could put on the floor in front of me to attend that workshop?
It's all up to you.
We have to talk definitely more, but yeah, it's also up to you in regards to the stuff. But we could definitely talk about the stuff. If you guys have ideas for stuff, feel free to shoot me a Discord DM.
I was just trying to assess the size of audience within Sansar now, let alone anyone coming from outside.
There's about 150 VR Facebook groups that you can go and advertise in every day for that event.
Wow.
Just saying.
Okay. Yeah, there's quite a bit.
I'm not sure how many people are in Sansar. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's
you still have to
I don't think we
hustle
have
up
metrics on that.
You have to hustle up on other sources for marketing it too, and get people in.
Right.
Yeah, good question. I think we as long as we talk about it, and obviously when there's a big event happening that's sponsored by Sansar that we're sort of involved in, then that conversation can turn into sort of whatever needs to happen, and whatever we can make happen will happen. What do you think, Haley or Harley or Lacey? Do you know the most amount of people we've had in a single event?
With Afro or without Afro?
With Afro.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Somewhere over 100, but I don't know.
Yeah, that was like one of those comedy events. I think the first one that you guys ran.
We've actually had one even bigger than that. That was a while back, but I don't remember off the top of my head how many people that was.
Yeah. Chris is asking from Twitch. Well, so this is a pretty good point. We've heard this before. So he's saying the area he thinks needs to improve the most is avatar versatility. It's so strict right now. Chris has an avatar that he uses across all platforms, and Sansar can't properly support it. And if he's not able to appear how he wants to people, he's not as comfortable. Yeah, I think that's a very valid sort of critique of the platform, and our product team is working on that. We just saw, like, obviously I can't share too much, but we just saw an amazing video about some transformations that are on the roadmap, and I think everybody's going to be really, really excited to see those. So I'll stay tuned, because hopefully we'll be able to share that sometime this year. But there will be more customization coming, and we know that's very, very important for everyone.
Do you mind if I mention something about that?
Please do.
So you guys should definitely come to our product meeting this Thursday, because I do believe that is going to be what we will be discussing regarding Avatar. So if that's something that interests you, this Thursday, 11 PST, 11 a.m. There's somebody getting down behind me in dance moves.
Get it.
Definitely come. You know, we discuss this kind of technical stuff right then and there, and you can speak directly to the teams that work on that and do all the crazy tech kind of stuff behind the scenes. You can answer these questions really well.
I think Bagnaria said earlier in the meetup, bring 1 million more people into Sansar. So this sort of ties into a question or a comment we just got from Twitch. Laura said, can someone please make a tutorial on how to make a wall, or even a wall with a doorway, not just seeing it already finished? So one of the things that I'll be doing is reaching out to the community a lot more to see, you know, what your experience with Sansar has been, and not only see what it has been, but to see if you'll talk about it with new users. And hopefully we can all work together to create some content. So coming into Sansar is a bit more friendly, and there's a bit more guidance for folks who need that kind of guidance. So I'll be asking you things like, what are the top 10 things you wish you knew when you first started? And if you're a creator, you know, how do you make a beautiful door, or how do you make an experience worthwhile? You know, your sorts of opinions and thoughts on that, and then maybe even working with you to create some tutorial videos and sharing that out to the community. Because right now we're in a unique space in sort of a game's lifetime, where the things that we do now as a community, the things that you do, especially if you're creating it and shaping the culture here, you're setting the tone for what we hope to be a massive community one day. So I think that's very exciting, and that's one of the reasons that I came to work here, actually. And I hope that's the reason, or one of the reasons that you all come onto Sansar every day, is that you're working with us to build something that's pretty incredible. I mean, it'd be one thing if we just had a bunch of engineers making an awesome game with nobody here, but you know, that's not how games are made, or why they're fun for a lot of people.
From a social standpoint, is there a possibility that we can have quote-unquote hosts that man the social hub? I'm not saying hold their new people's hands, but you know, if they have questions and stuff, maybe some people they can accommodate for that particular area.
Sure, sort of like a greeter who's always around.
It doesn't even have to be a real person. It can just be an NPC or something, and at least point them into the right direction as far as what you were saying, the door and all the tutorials and stuff like that. I know it's an ever-changing world and things change on a fast, but then if you have some sort of a greeter that just points to, you just change the link if something changes and put the new tutorial up or whatever.
Sure, sort of like when you first start playing a game and they have the tutorial section, you know, the first 5 minutes of the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting if we had some sort of, well, one, it'd be great if we had a real person always there. I don't know how feasible that is, but maybe there's some sort of community program we can put together. If somebody always wants to be on, or that kind of thing, we can have a sign-up sheet, and that person would get some sort of high five or incentive. Or maybe we can just develop an AI in-house, and we can all figure out what that looks like together. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, and they don't even, because I know and I understand there might be issues if the said quote-unquote host gets power of, banning or kicking and stuff like that. No, none of that. Just like being able to be there and being acknowledged by Linden Lab that you are doing this as either a volunteer or whatever the case may be, and you just volunteer your time or get quote unquote paid to just help around in the social hub.
Yeah, so I'll be repeating questions now because people on Twitch are having trouble hearing.
Is it okay if I clarify one thing real quick with that, Galileo?
Yep, go for it.
So this was actually brought up not in our last product meeting, but the product meeting before. Currently, we don't have plans in place to do an official program like that. But if you see someone in the social hub, that's part of the thing. The community, help them out, send them the links, and if not, at least direct them to the Discord, because this is the kind of stuff, teamwork makes the dream work. And so that is definitely something that's great. And, the greeter program, right now, not something we're planning on doing, but you're more than welcome to help out the new folks, and it would actually be super appreciated.
One way to save the cost of that, because it's very expensive to have a helper in every room, would be to have a gateway somehow so that a person who needs a bit of tech help or guidance, they can, without disturbing the current event, press a button and somebody flies in or somebody invisible is there to give them help without disturbing the event.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll look into sort of anything that makes sense. But as Lacey said, that there's nothing really on the roadmap right now for an official program. But I also think that one of the signs of a strong community is people helping each other. So if anybody's there, I mean, please help.
Share the love.
Yeah, share the love.
It's interesting. I've seen that they have for Second Life an experience. You go there and they teach, and there's a video on how to do Second Life. So that might be a good suggestion. Have a whole experience where you just go there and you learn how to do the things here with videos and people. The community could hang out there that want to help the new people, and they could have a portal from the social event. Just transfer people right there. That sounds like a good suggestion. Yeah.
Well, I believe somebody in this very group has something like that in the works, and we were just looking at their experience before this meetup started. So that is such a great idea. And hopefully, I obviously can't out this person's work until they're ready for it, but that is certainly on the horizon, and thanks to a user for creating that.
I think that it's important to realize that immediate help, rather than training beforehand, is a factor that will determine whether a person quits in disgust from VR, let alone Sansar, or stays in and tells their friends to join. I mean, it's a tough thing to deliver, but I'm saying it's a factor of whether Sansar succeeds or fails, or VR succeeds or fails.
No, that's a super good point.
I think one of the most important things, and I find a lot of new people, is they don't realise they have to wear a headset, and that can that can be very, as well as quite disruptive to us if we're trying to have an event or something. It can be quite awkward.
Right.
I suspect that, I don't know whether it's, I suspect that's not in the tutorial. I don't know what's in the tutorials at the moment, because I've been here too long. But,
everything
yes, maybe that would be a good thing to, try and show people that they need a headset if they're going to use voice.
Right. So I think the two cruelest things in VR are loneliness and tech hassles.
Yep. Yeah, that's a very good point. We're trying to solve for both, and hopefully we can get them both solved at the same time. Because I think, as you suggested, that the problems might go hand in hand. Now, I heard somebody was trying to talk, but I couldn't see who it was. Go ahead. Who was it?
I guess Alfie wanted to say something. No, when you're done, then I will explain something. Everything what you're talking now about, I'm building 2 months now. So I have put 2 scenes together. The first scene is a step. The first step, where you can use it your avatar, everything with picture, everything with panel. This I'm building with Italian community, the Italian Blender official Blender community from Italy is coming now here in Sansar. and he make now the Blender land. This is everything about Blender. We will explain everybody how you can building, how you can using your avatar, how you can bring stuff here and in an easy way too maybe, or you can make everything here in this game. And everything is made with Photoshop on panels and really clean that you can read very well in Italian and in English. We make that now in English too. We did right now this for a big Italian community that will come in. And in maybe 1 or 2 weeks, this scene is done, is finished. And then I can show you guys. But everything what you're talking now about, we make already now 2 months we're beginning to make this. But
Yeah.
this is what we miss now in Sansar, that to show the people, the new people that coming, oh look, you have to go in this way, you have to use this and that. And this missed here, I think.
So Alfie has been working on something for 2 months, as he's saying, and we saw it earlier today. We took a little tour, and it's really excellent. And so I think you're right, Alfie. I think that there's these sort of tutorials, and this experience has been missed, as somebody else suggests too. So we're very, very excited for you to finish that. And it looks really good so far. I hope everybody, when it's ready, will go in and check it out.
An example right there of community helping community, you know? That's how I learned about 90% of what I know about Sansar. And so that's really awesome stuff.
One thing too.
I'm so need a class at Blender. I have so many things I want to do and I have no idea how.
And yes, and these guys help everybody. So these guys coming here help everybody. This is a Blender community in Italy. They have
Oh, great,
website,
great.
and we will show them. We will make video, tutorial video.
Great, because the tutorial video I found now are terrible. You cannot understand nothing. Just amateur people sitting. That I can do better without the explain they given me, you know.
You do better reading the documentation versus watching videos. That's how horrible a lot of these are.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is the basics, the basic WSAD. Moving of the character, that's probably not going to change, but there's some things in coding and programming and texturing and whatever, things may change. Like there's things that are going to be solid throughout, and then there's going to be things that are going to obviously change with the development of the environment.
Yeah, that's right. Things will always be changing. So, I mean, I don't want anybody to be afraid to make a video. One, I think if somebody makes a video to help, no matter what the quality is, I think that we should all be grateful for that. So don't be afraid if you want to help somebody. Don't worry about it looking polished. Don't worry if it doesn't look like a Hollywood movie or whatever. If you want to help, and then hopefully people can learn from all sorts of different sources. So make content.
I want to be able to fly. I want to be able to fly and find people on an experience quicker.
Have you tried? I mean, so I apologize if you have tried this, but if you press F4, then you can detach yourself from the avatar, and you can make your camera go faster, and you can zoom around an experience pretty quickly.
Which happens to be turned off here.
I don't have that turned off.
I don't have it turned off. Mine's working as well. But we can.
F4 is a little bitchy as a key.
No,
it really is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I lost you there.
Okay, this is one of the
F4 is turned off for me. Some experiences they have it turned off.
Oh, I see.
And it's turned off here. Maybe you have override because you're Sansar.
I couldn't do an F4 just now.
Yeah, it's not working.
Oh, maybe it's just me. See, I'm still learning as well, so hopefully you guys can teach me some things.
No, I have it on, but maybe it's a issue.
If it was disabled, you would hear a sound when you hit F4.
Does it work for anybody else, or is everybody else not working?
I get the sound.
Some of us have installed the TP2 scripts, scripting, which allows you to type in TP2 and then partial username match, or you can do like TP to invite them to teleport to you, which kind of helps in these larger scenes.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So what I'm saying is it would be nice to be able to, like, when you're in a big experience, get to the people that are grouped up and know where they're at. It would be nice, like if there was a map or a way to fly to them quicker than like even teleporting takes a while.
Yeah, you're right. So we were in.
Also,
Oh, go ahead.
It's also an issue for experience creators to think about when they make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether or not you enable it. Yep.
Whether you want that or not.
Not just enable it, but how you set up your experience so that people group together or can find each other, either giving a map or something like that.
That's right.
Second Life's got that.
Yeah, I thought I had it on, but maybe I did turn it off. I don't know.
We had an issue, well, not an issue, but we were in Ambar's awesome castle experience the other day doing our community meetup, and we all went inside of an instance within an instance. There's probably a name for this, and I'm just not aware of what it is yet, but there was a dance hall built into his experience. And we were all in there dancing, and every time somebody new would come in, I'd have to leave the actual tower and go find them and bring them back. So I can see how that can be a little frustrating if you're going into an experience and not finding people. But yeah, I think there's obviously something there. So maybe we can look into that.
Speaking of
I actually saw
things one outside the other. How about, what do you think of this? Building YouTube into the possible experience of anyone at any time. In other words, if I wanted to illustrate something right now using a YouTube video, can I just press a button, see YouTube there, and click to the YouTube on a show, and everyone here see it?
Yeah, you can.
Really?
If you're the experience owner, yeah, you just do play media URL, and then you link the.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I couldn't see it anywhere. Which menu is it in?
I think you have to be the experience creator for that to happen.
Yeah. Or
okay.
Yeah,
I
can't
mean,
really.
I mean, general.
I
mean, to me, YouTube is part of my conversation now.
Sure.
When I'm talking to people, I will always use YouTube to illustrate things. How come we can't do it in here?
Can, and after the meeting, if you want to.
You can. You make your own experience, and then you take the people you want to show that to your
It's too
experience.
complicated. What I'm asking for, I know it's a tall order. I'm just saying, I can do it in real life off my cell phone easily.
I see what you're
I
saying.
I don't have
You
to build an
can
experience.
link it in nearby chat, maybe.
I mean, you're definitely welcome
have to understand.
submit a feature request on that. I think there are heavy concerns there about the potential for griefing that an ability like that would offer.
Right.
True. Yeah.
The experience.
So we're always
Someone
gonna
who
have that.
made the experience, they own the experience. They if they don't want you to put a video, whatever video you want, it's up to them. It's not like Second Life where you can just res whatever you want.
Now, some people have installed the media screen control scripting, like Nebula created one, and there's a few other people, but it allows you to do a chat command followed by like the URL you want to play on the media screen. So permissions vary, however they're set up. Which is, it's kind of handy. I got that installed over at my place, so it's like, people can actually switch out the content.
There's actually a way you can do things now. You can call media texture cube with the FK script, a new script that calls things in your instance. You call it right in front of your face, and then you link the media URL to it. So you can basically travel with the screen anywhere on your instance.
Sounds good. Sounds complicated. That's all.
I did like your idea though that sort of in real life you have this the cell phone that you can whip out and show any sort of media. So I feel like maybe you were shooting for some sort of communicator that your avatar could have. I think that's a really interesting idea.
It's because basically it's a portal to the whole internet.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's part of our lives now.
But
and in
that's
VR, we're supposed to be really up. We're
because-
supposed to be up with the play. It'd be good if in VR we had that same access instantly to show our friends anytime, any place, a bit of the internet that we want to show them.
I do think chat can help you there if you link to somebody in
we're
chat.
able to link videos in chat, so.
Yeah, and then
Can I ask something about
can
videos?
decide whether they want to play that video
Yeah,
or not.
true.
If
I
you
totally
play
agree.
that
Yeah.
video in an
Yeah.
experience, everyone around has to download that video.
Yeah, totally agree. But
Now,
so
we
that's
could have controls in Sansar where the user could say disable all media.
right.
And that would be a nice control to have.
Yeah, and we've got controls on audio right now. Maybe let's do the same thing with video.
So somebody had a question about video.
Yeah, I had a small question. To stream a video, does it have to be to stream a video from a website, or if I have a video that I have on my computer as a MP4 file, can I stream it, or it have to be online something?
We currently only support streaming from Twitch or YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I was able to upload to my Microsoft.
But it will be
OneDrive,
possible,
and I copied the
or
link.
it's too much to.
I was able to upload to Microsoft OneDrive. That's what's playing in this room right now as a media stream. Is the,
audio streams are
audio
different
file.
though. In terms of video
I'm
streams,
talking about video.
Yeah,
No, but
it will be for to stream MP4, like a file from your computer or something.
You can
I plugged it into the media stream input.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's still different.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Nice try.
Oh, hi, Tina.
Can you see
I'm
the
trying,
video,
I'm
Mike?
trying.
Mike, can you see the video?
It's not a video, but it won't work under the radio stream. I have to use it. I have
There
to
is
use
a
the
video
media stream
here?
input.
There's only one link in, and it's a media, and it goes to both audio and video. So.
So, I just wanted to mention from something earlier about videos, like instructional videos. There's quite a few already out there, so I think it would be really helpful if there was different places where you can find them all. Like one perhaps on the Sansar website, another one that people who come from Steam can easily find, or maybe even just a designated experience within Sansar that just has access to all those instructional videos.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We were actually talking about that right before this meeting started. We are going to be sort of resuscitating some of the community platforms that currently exist, including creating a bunch of tutorial videos that will link there for everybody. And again, Alfie is working on an experience where there's going to be some tutorials. So maybe once we see how that's done, we can focus on that as well. But that is such a good idea, and we know that there's a.
It's just that there's already a lot of stuff out there that people have a hard time finding.
If you guys have any, or if you see any, if you made any even, we have a lot of the kinds of videos like that inside of the Steam community. Video, it's exactly the perfect place. So if you guys find them, put them there. Por favor. Very much appreciated.
That's right. We also at Bagnaria, back to what you said earlier, which I really like, by the way. Bring 1 million users. That's going to be a great KPI for me, or something a goal to hit. But yeah, more activity on Steam, because I think a lot of our new players are going to be coming from Steam since we went up there in December. So anything you can do to go be active in a Steam community. I mean, some of you here, especially if you're at this event, are some of our most active and influential community members. People who have not been in Sansar yet would love to hear from you, and so take that as a sort of personal request, but if you all could go be active there and upload some of the great stuff that you've done, and that's another great platform for you to show off your work and also to help grow the community. Up to you, obviously.
There's so many people here right now.
Yeah, I'm so happy that people came out. Tomorrow we'll be doing a really fun community game time. So Nebula built this awesome Cards Against Sansarity experience, and we'll be playing that tomorrow, which will be super, super fun. However, I did take out a lot of the R-rated cards because we'll be streaming it, and we don't want people who have signed up and are younger than sort of 17 to, hear some of that. So if you want to play the entire game, go to Nebula's experience, but we'll be doing a PG-13 version tomorrow. But hopefully you all will come.
Awesome.
We've got about 8 minutes left, so if there's any lingering questions or anything you want to ask, you can ask that now, but obviously I'll be on Discord and accessible in other ways. But this has been very exciting to see all of you here, and I look forward to seeing you every day.
Nice meeting you too.
Is he getting frustrated? No, hopefully not.
Z-Star's just breaking it down back there like it's no tomorrow.
Smiles.
So we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up in Sansar, so hopefully you guys will stick around. And jumping's coming up. I think we've talked about it. Avatar customization is something that we talked about a little today, just in case you just joined us. That'll be getting a little boost. And we're going to be starting to do a lot more with music and comedy. And so that's a little look into the future. And so get those dancing emotes ready. And if you need to go buy some new ones, do it, because we're gonna have a lot more dancing.
What's that event on Thursday called?
The event. There's an event tomorrow.
I love the noob emote. Thanks.
If you go to events.sansar.com, you can check them out. But there's a community game time tomorrow, which you can check out in the events portal. But on Thursday we have product meetups. Okay. So one of those is for fun, and one of those is for, I don't know. Product meetups can be fun.
Yeah, right.
Do you know when the next major release is going to be?
The next major release. Oh, it's soon-ish. Can I talk about that, Lacey?
Epe mentioned something about.
I'm not sure if we can give any exact dates. But,
Epe can say more than we can.
Yeah,
so
I think
yeah, that's right. That's right.
So there is one on the way, but they don't know when. Okay.
We will have an update. I can tell you that much.
Typically at the end of the month, beginning of a new month. So.
When's the product meetup? Thursday? You can pounce then.
That's right, Thursday.
You can tell us what Evan said.
Thank you for your time.
You can quote Abby.
No, thank you for your time. No,
Thank you so much for coming out here and talking with us.
If you ever see me, oh, by the way, thanks to Mike Lowe for this amazing experience. It has been a great host.
In beautiful surroundings.
No problem.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you.
Since this matches my avatar, I'll probably hang out here a lot. So if you ever see me in game and I'm not somewhere obvious, come look in here. But I hope to see everybody's experiences. My personal aesthetic in real life is very Tron-esque. So anything that's a neon, I will be at.
I'm going to show you Synthwave, I think, or Synthscape, I think it's called.
I love Synthscape. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
And guys, please definitely, if you guys see any cool experiences that are new, definitely send them my way, or even ones that you found like hidden gems. I would love to take a look.
Tina asking about the jumping in the chat. I want to ask all of that.
Yeah, I'm not
Why
sure
we cannot
yet.
jump? Why this space about teleport? It's so annoying.
We know that jumping is important, and we're working on it. I saw a pretty cool jump demo the other day, so it's coming.
As a mode or as part as you can run, jump while you're doing stuff and things. Or
I don't know if I've said too much already, but we hope that you can run and jump.
Okay, right. Thank you. And fly. Oh, it's too much.
Manipulate me while you can. Manipulate me while you can, because I don't know what I can share.
The works for anytime soon, but
Come on and jump.
maybe
Jump.
it's a dream.
Everybody.
Well, there's a Van Halen song called "Jump" that you can listen to get excited for it, but I don't know when it's going to happen. It might not be soon.
Well, okay, there's a few questions on the avatar in the chat,
Okay.
and those all, just by the way, I believe some of them were briefly mentioned in the beginning. However, you should definitely come out to the product meetup, because this is the kind of stuff, the technical questions, that the team that works on that directly will be able to answer 100%.
Yeah, those questions are much better for product meetup type stuff.
Yeah, let's hold off for there. But product meetup is every week, so you're never too far away from one.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to stop streaming, and it'll be the end of the recorded meetup, but I'll hang out and talk to folks if you want to. And we can also have a dance party.
I'm down.
Hail to the project manager.
No, hail to you all. Hail to you all. If you weren't here, then I wouldn't be here. So, yay! Thank you all. Thank you. All right, let's dance.
Let's groove tonight.